Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for some more of the Six Nations. Now, this one could be quite a crucial game for both of these sides. Wales sitting there on 0 points. Italy sitting on the 1 point. Whoever wins this game will boost themselves up in the Six Nations table. Might be considered too little too late in terms of the overall Six Nations, but both of these sides playing for pride here. The game's taking place in Italy. The national anthems were pretty impressive from both sides. Let's hope that the rugby matches that intensity as well. But Italy going with a very strong looking lineup. Stephen Varney and Garabisi as their 19 combo. I'm looking forward to seeing what Italy do in this contest because there's been a lot of talk about the Italians, and it's whether or not they are playing very well because they are versing top level sides. And because of that, they are really bringing their level of intensity to the next level. I want to see how they do up against the struggling Wales here to see whether or not their momentum continues or the Italians do find themselves being outplayed. It's going to be a very intriguing fixture, that is for sure. Looking through at the Welsh starting lineup, they haven't got Dan Bigger. Instead, it will be Owen Williams at number 10, Liam Williams at 15. Mason Grady gets the opportunity in the midfield. I do hope he has a decent enough crack as well. But we have got sighted canvas in the chat. Wales to lose badly. I know it's harsh, but it's something I just have to go through to get back up again. And a bit optimistic, I know, but Italy seems more up to the task this year. Said cited, yeah, they've been doing very well, the Italians, throughout this Six Nations competition. And yes, a lot of people will go, yeah, but they've got 1 point. But I don't think that is something to look at for the Italians. They've had a lot of close games throughout the Six Nations, and I've pushed some of the top sides, which is absolutely awesome to see. But it's kicked off long by the Italians, claimed there by it will be Joe Hawkins. We have got afternoon all. Wales need a good performance today, even if they lose. They have something to look forward to. Ready for the World Cup, says Mr. Fantastic AJ. And of course, we're not too far away at all from the Rugby World Cup competition. That one's going to go out, I believe, not quite on the full from Joe Hawkins, but they might have been able to get away with that one, the Welsh. It's happened. I need to see it from a little bit further around to see who they said that the line out was off. Okay, so it did end up hitting a Welsh player, and it will now be Nicotera for the Italians, who has got their line out throw. Now looking to go to that rolling maul. In fact, no, they take it off the back, give it off. Now a little chip and chase from Garabisi. Doesn't work out. Nicely claimed by Rio Dyer. We have got, hey, howdy, hey, y'all. Hope you're all well, says Scrumless. Hope you are well too. Exciting times. Six Nations. We've got two games back to back. This first one, Wales versus Italy, and then England taking on the French, not too far away as well. And Garbisi is an enterprising 10. He's a very talented player. Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi has said hello or welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Now going off to the left-hand side will now be Liam Williams. Good shot put onto him by, I believe there was the Renzo Cannone, and they end up with the penalty going their way as well, the Italians. Good evening, Hamish. Rugby time. Big game for both these teams. And the England versus France game is also big for different reasons, says Joss Pike. Yeah, both of those sides sitting on 10 points for France and England. And the thing is, to keep their Six Nations hopes alive, the winner of that game then needs to win next week. And I believe that it will be France taking on the Welsh. And then for the English, I believe they have actually got Ireland as their final game. So it could all come down to that final match of the Six Nations between the English and the Irish. I feel bad for Wales for sure, but I want Italy to win, says Scrumlass. Come on, Wales, says Gareth, and let's go. Good lucks, says Nate there. Now, Nicotera, this time line out from just outside of the Welsh 22 and nicely stolen there. I believe there was Adam Beard getting up to that one. Wales able to take the ball back nice and early. And they get the penalty as well in the process. I've got an early win, but come on, Wales, says Gareth. And hey, it's time, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. Hey, Scrumlass, how you doing? Says it was there from Nate. I actually want to quickly check to see the odds for this match because I feel like they should have been very even. And a lot of people actually see the Italians as favourites for this match, which is something that not even that long ago, some people would have called you crazy for saying. The Italians, yeah, $1.85 compared to Wales, $1.97. So there you go. What's your prediction? It's tricky. Italy should theoretically win this, but I don't know. I feel like there is a high chance that we finally see a Welsh performance that they can be proud of. But if it doesn't work out for them, they're definitely going to end up conceding quite a few points here. Hey there, brother. I'm doing better now. Getting over being sick for a month. I tested positive for COVID on Valentine's Day, says Scrumless. Yes, so hopefully you are feeling a bit better, Scrumless. Going to be put high. That one just goes into touch for the Italians. Very good kick downfield from Garbisi. No, you had a lurgy. Lurgy? Lurgy? Is that how you say it? What is allergy? Am I too, I guess, what is it, too innocent? Know what allergy is, Gareth? And come on, Benito. There's a fluffy there. Nice run there from the Welsh, sitting 30 metres out on the line now, giving it off to Ken Owens. Recycle quickly, and this seems like a different Welsh side. Just the way that they are attacking here, going a lot quicker than they used to be. Reece Webb goes off to the right-hand side. Good work in the breakdown from Italy to almost get that turnover, but it will stay on the side of the Welsh. Once again, Dyer. In fact, sorry, it's Reece Webb. That's an advantage in favour of the Welsh, so they've got an easy 3 points if they want it. But first of all, they're going to have another little attack. It's going to be kicked in behind from Dan or Joe Hawkins. Goes into touch. I'm feeling much better now. Sure, thank you. Give you that. And I'm thinking Wales prove a point and big win, says my name is Jeff. See, I feel like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking if the Welsh do win, they will probably win by more than 10. But if the Italians win, I feel like it's going to be a hard-fought victory and they get it by less than 5. And hi from the US, says Robert. Welcome in. What time is it in the US at the moment, Robert? Do let me know. This one will be about 20 metres out. Slight angle, but should be stock standard enough for a first kick of the day. My lungs still feel like they're filled with crumpled paper, but I'm good, says Scrumless. Crumpled paper. That must feel weird. I'm trying to think of a comparison, but I don't think I've got one. I'm piling on the penalty so far, or for Wales so far, says Sighter Canvas. Should mention that the kicking option that they have decided to go with today will be Owen Williams. That is in the absence of Dan Bigger. Should get the points. 9 a.m. on the East Coast, says Gareth. A nice early morning start. Owen Williams taking his time, making sure that this one goes over straight down the middle. Easy does it. 6 minutes into the game, and now Wales will take themselves an early 3-point lead. An Italian connection, a friend of a friend's grandmother owns a Bambino car, says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. So is that why you're going for the Italians rather than the Welsh, Mumbo Jumbo? I had it, but only got a bad headache for 12 days. That's scary, Katie. Glad you're okay. And lung crump nasty. Here's a fluffy. Now is going to be at the back, rolling this one back. Reece Webb going to get the box kick up. Now, Wales need to make sure they play a majority of this game inside of the Italian half. Because for the more time, that was almost taking the player out in the air. I think Rio Dyer might have had a couple obstacles in his path, though. Now, Varney going across here into the hands of Nicolo Canoni. Once again, going to Garbisi off the left-hand side. Bit of a bounce pass attempted. And a knock-on out on the wing, unfortunately, for Pierre Bruno. The Wales players are past the prime, says Gareth. And sorry, yeah, that's this, Kia kaha. And just shake it off, yo, says Nate. And also, I didn't get any headache, but I had the itchiest rash ever on my chest, and it sucked, says Grumlass. And I'm very happy with that one for the Welsh. Putting the extra little bit of pressure on. And like I mentioned, territory is going to be important in this game because the more time that Wales spend in the Italian half, it's going to sound like a simple statement, but the more time that they spend in the Italians half, the less time Italy are going to have to take on 3-pointers and get themselves back into this contest. Starting pack, Wales have got the 6 kg advantage. Yes, hey, Mish, says Mumbo Jumbo. Now, looks like they're already having a bloodbath here. Unfortunately, Simone Ferrari has got a bit of an injury. Well, not really an injury. He probably didn't feel it, but he's knocked the side of his eyelid. And there's a bit of blood streaming down. But Warren Gatlin, he'll be a nervous man. I feel $1 bazillion now, brother, says Scrumlass. Now, Damon Murphy in charge of this one, the Australian referee. Has he done any of the other Six Nations games, Damon Murphy, or has he only recently been flown over? Looks like they are going to tape up Ferrari, get him back out there. This Welsh backline, quite different from what we saw in their last match. They have gone with Reece Webb at number 9. Dyer is actually going to be out on that left wing side, so he will be on this bottom side of the screen as we look at it. Also at first 5, it will be Owen Williams. Then you've got Joe Hawkins, Mason Grady, Josh Adams, and also Liam Williams. So they've got the talent. Just some of these guys probably a little bit less known than some of the other Welsh players. And let's see how long Wales can keep this pressure going. Yeah, they got to stay in the half of the Italians. If they end up slipping a little bit and Italy manage to get themselves either a rolling maul early on, only a few meters out from the line, or themselves a penalty or two, I think Wales will be kicking themselves. Currently 30 meters out from the line. Thomas Williams going to be feeding this ball in. Just kidding. It is not him. Instead, it is Reece Webb. That'll take a bit to get used to because it's been Thomas Williams a majority of the Six Nations. Webb puts the ball in. Now has been told to use it. Goes off to his number 12, Hawkins. Moves up to the 22. Is Gatlin a blue whale or a sperm whale? Says Fluffy. Oh, I think I've missed something there for Gatlin. I didn't realise he was any type of whale, but if I had to compare out of the two, he's probably more of a blue whale because blue sounds like he's sad, and he will be at the moment because whales aren't going the best. But in this match, they're not looking too badly. Didn't you get the Rona once, Hamish? Or was that the clap from the Halloween girls? I wish George was here. Says Gareth. Oh, it's stolen. I missed a try. But it's going to be Rio Dyer who manages to score the try. Beautifully done by the Welsh. And that will be a good start to the match. Beluga whale? No, just a blue whale. A sad one. But now he'll be a little bit happier. What's a happy looking whale? A narwhal. They normally look pretty happy, don't they? And also, apparently, he is a bleached whale according to the pre-game commentary. Or a beached whale. Nice. And Hamish, how's the steak? Did you add salt and pepper? I did, yes. George judged me big time because I cooked mine a little bit longer than his. But it was slightly, maybe I overdid it a little bit with the cooking, but it was still like, I'd say medium to well done, somewhere around there. George ate it pretty much as soon as it went in the pan. He wanted it back out. Now, Rio Dyer, he'll take that one. Nice bounce of the ball. Very favourable for the Welsh, and they will now have themselves a 10-0 lead in this one. And also, well, that was a very lucky bounce of the ball. Sometimes you need that, though. Sometimes a little bit of luck goes a long way. I'm processing Gareth's comment again. No, I've been very lucky for the first part of avoiding that. I haven't avoided the Halloween debacle, though. Going to be kicked high from Italy. 10-0 for the Welsh. This is a good start. Said that they needed to have it, and they have. They listened to me. I must have sent my email to the right place. Padavani. And wrestle backwards just a little bit further. I just bit my tongue. That's unfortunate because we got 3.5 hours to go. Canoni. That's the ball up. That is Nicolo. Sounds delicious. I like mine almost burnt, says Nate there. You see, I enjoy a little bit of, I know it probably, George was judging me big time, but I enjoy that little bit of, not charcoal, but just a little bit of crispiness on the outer sides, you know. A little bit of darkness. Quite good, I thought. Hope the Italians don't buff, bobble, or bungle, says a mumbo jumbo to Kiwi. Kieran Crowley. Big opportunity here for the Italians to come from behind. If they get it right, but it does seem like once again it will be the Welsh. Put the ball in out. We can't have any more of those yawns. It's currently 3:30 a.m. New Zealand time. We've only been up for about 16 hours, so that's a pretty stock standard day for us at the Kiwi Lads. And hello there, Kiwi Lads, having a break now. So it's Wales with some points on the board. Wow. So Hamish, I vetted and I pushed for your addition to the tight-knit Discord server. Are you not actively interested? I'm already a member of that server, Gareth. It's the Rugby Geek server, and I'm already a part of it. I think I was one of the first members in that one. But yeah, Spoon777, is that his name? He sent me an invite and it was like, do you want to join the Rugby Geeks one that I'm already in? So I'm there. Unless he sent me the wrong link, which I think could have been the case. Because I feel like in the members section, you would have been like, oh, that's Hamish, so it's all good. But yeah, he sent me a link to the Rugby Geeks server, so maybe he got confused. Nicely worked up. Lupe Falata with a bit of a spin. Going around the side this time, it will be the number 6, Jack Morgan. Chargold is my favourite, says Sighted. Now going to the left-hand side. And I sent you the correct link, Hamish. Are you sure? Wait up. I'm going to have another look because is it the Rugby Geek server though? Is that the right one? Because yeah, the link is Rugby Geek server, 43 members, 6 online. That's the one that I got, and I'm already a member. If that's the right one. Now, Liam Williams. Gonna put the kick high. Oh, awkward take, but he's done well. I believe that was Tommaso Allen who's going to be playing fullback. Can someone please tell me what Josh Adams and Wyn Jones were sniffing before the game started? They were passing around some tiny pocket, and they were sniffing it and looking like drugs. I couldn't tell you really. I know my friend you invited to the WWWRU server. Yes, the Rugby Geek server is the correct one. Wait, so which one's the right one? Because I think he was hoping. It sounds like there's been a bit of a miscommunication. So I got the link to the Rugby Geek server. I could show you the thing, but then I don't want random people in the thingy joining. But yeah, it says you've been invited to join a server, and it comes up with Rugby Geek server, 6 online, 43 members is the one that I've got. What's the exact time in your game? Currently sitting, actually we were exactly 13 minutes, now 13:04. And who got the steak pregnant? There's Fluffy. I don't know if that's how biology works. That one's going to go into touch. And Sri Lanka in a good position to win the test where you cover day 5. Can you recall which match you got copyright? Gopher's drunk. There's a channel on the Rugby Geek server. Wait, so am I already a part of this exclusive club? Is that what I'm learning? Is it the Wickham Warrior Wasps one? Is it that one? Gareth's currently typing. See, I was not informed that it was inside of the Rugby Geek server. I feel like now that I know that, we're good. But yeah, we won't be covering day 5 of Sri Lanka, New Zealand. We'll probably be sleeping throughout that whole game. Yes, you are, says Grant. Now it is going to be a scrum for the Italians on the 22. This is a good opportunity. I think a Prego steak and cheese pie for late lunch. It's for 33. Is Ruth steak and cheese pie? They go all right. And yes, you are. That's the one. Says Grant. And the steak is pregnant. The Discord link is drunk. Half the glue Wales. Says Crumless. Yeah, just a normal late night live stream on the Kiwi Lads. And Italy looking promising on attack. It's a good push as well. If they got the advantage, you can't see through the mass of men. That is going to be the penalty in favour of the Italians. Now, they are 10 points down. They may consider slowing it down a little bit. And they might go a little bit lighter in terms of just slowing it down. Get 3 points. Yep, points. I just heard Tommaso Allen say. So they'll take on the 3, get them back within that 7-point margin. Now 15 minutes in at the moment to this game. It's been going quite quick. First 15. Yeah, I've got the match, of course, between England and France just a little bit later on today. It will be at 5:45 a.m. That's going to be a very good game. First kick of the match for Tommaso Allen, 77%. predicted success. And Italy, says Boulders and Steel, may just be able to get themselves their first points of the day in a very short moment. Taking his time here, Tommaso Allen doesn't want to rush it. Got a home crowd advantage. I'm sure that they would love to see this kick go over, and it does go over. That will now make the score 10 points to 3 in favour of the Welsh still. I think this is your 7th stream in 24 hours, says Coding. Are we up to that many? And 2 cents stream rate, says Schlanger. Is 2 cents live for this game? Is he up and about? I haven't actually got my phone on me, sadly. Well, I got this phone, but it's very broken. It's got a massively cracked screen, and I got nothing on it other than, what have I got on that phone? Just the camera, which sounds dodgy, but no, I just have the camera for a second camera angle when we do videos and whatnot. Yeah, say hi to Mark for me if he's up at this hour. But I don't know about 7th stream. Are we up to that many already in the 24 hours? I know that we did 1 yesterday, and then we've had 2 earlier today. So I think, or 3. So I think we're only up to about 4. We're not doing too badly in terms of back-to-back streams. Nice work here from Sebastian Negri back into the pocket. Tommaso Allen, the man who did get the successful kick, will have to go down the middle of the park. It goes straight into the arms of Owen Williams. Halfway line, does decide to boot it high. Liam Williams trying to line it up. Normally solid under the high ball, but Tommaso Allen. In fact, it was Garbisi this time who's been able to get that one nicely. Looks like there's some sort of injury there for an Italian player. It is their number 1, Daniele Fischetti. Passing the ball back. Good pressure being put on by Wales. 7 streams. Time for a prostate checker. Says Fluffy, that was a loose ball. It's worked out to Liam Williams. And now, he's just gone straight through the Italians. That is something we haven't seen from Italy throughout the Six Nations, is allowing them to go in so easily. But there will be another try for Wales. It's Liam Williams this time who manages to get himself the try. Watching the most important game today, Western Province versus Golden Lions. I did see that the Curry Cup has started up, which is great news. A bit more South African rugby under the belt. That is going to be another try. Great work. In the end, we will go like this, and we will go like this. There we go. It was great work from Talupe Falatau. Broke off the back. The bounce pass. Now, it could have been intercepted, and the Italians could have found themselves going towards the try line, but instead, the bounce pass was straight into the hands of Liam Williams, who stepped round. I think he beat 3 or 4 defenders all in one go. That's a lot of streams in a day. Your ISP must love you now. Your ISP. What's an ISP? ISP is... No, I can't think. It's currently 3:30 a.m. Do you ever sleep, says Schlanger? Sometimes. Believe it or not. Not so much on weekends. Well, I squeeze hours in. I like to consider it that I squeeze sleep rather than get sleep. So, yeah, we'll be up till probably about 8:30 a.m. today. So that's another 5 hours or so. That will take us up to being awake for 22 hours. I might have to stay awake for a couple extra hours after that, though, because I did order some online groceries. As you do. That kick's missed. Way to the left-hand side. But yeah, then I'll be sleeping throughout the day. Getting back up at about 3 a.m. maybe, or actually I'll be up before then, do some editing. Do the Ireland versus Scotland match. And then I think we're going to go fishing at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. Go out for breakfast after that. And then I guess I'll see what I'm doing. I think I might be going to work on Monday morning. Actual work, not sitting, actual paid work for a bit of building. I think we might be pouring concrete, actually, so that's going to suck a bit. But she'll be right. Now rolling the ball back now. It's going to be Reece Webb for the Welsh, so they have been able to extend that lead. And you wonder if the Italians are looking at that going, maybe the 3 wasn't the best choice. And what do you get if an osprey and an eel mate? I'm curious to know. Good afternoon, all, says Flesh, and welcome in, Flesh. You are doing well. Fluffy year, buckethead day, says Mumbo Jumbo. And also we have got the bucket head, says Fluffy. And I saw the news earlier this week that apparently the Ospreys are considering merging with Ealing. Hey, howdy, hey, brother. But yeah, I didn't know what ISP stands for, and I think you are not computer geek. Yeah, I got my PC because it was green. About as far as my PC knowledge goes. It's got a light and a fan that goes. Bzz. That's about all I know. That's going to be the penalty to the Italians. Must roll away. Wasn't able to enter from the left. A wild freshen. I almost said freshen. And thoughts on the under 26 nations results, says Shane Healy. I'm kind of happy with how it's setting up for the under 26 nations. What we're quickly going to do is I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go under 26 nations, and I'm hoping it's going to show me the full way that the table sits. Because the table's setting up to be the scenario of the final game, Ireland versus France. They don't play, do they? Plays in the last round for the under 26 nations. Is it Ireland, France? No, Ireland, England, sorry. Going to be the final round. And Ireland, England could be a deciding one because if England win that one with the bonus point, France, if they lose to Wales, which doesn't seem likely, so Ireland's going to have to win that game to have a good chance. Currently, the Italians moving up to the 22-meter line. They're lurking. About 25 out. Varney with the white cutout pass finds the hands of Petavani. Ball on the inside. I believe that would have been a Minocello. We ended up with that one. Now Canoni in the midfield again. I'm so happy to be getting Super Brew this wrong, says Gareth. And they could get called the Earling Ospreys. Beautiful inside. No, it's gone a little bit behind Varney. There's a chance for the Italians, but they weren't quite able to capitalize as of yet. They still find themselves 6 phases in. That was close to a knock-on in the breakdown. I've noticed I've started leaning a lot more recently. I don't know why. It's just when there's like a breakdown or something, I end up leaning. It's like, when you're playing like a racing car game on your console or with a wheel, and you think that leaning's going to help you turn a bit quicker. The penalty goes the way of the Welsh. And Italy, they were just looking for a few more phases with their forwards. And then after that, possibly looking for that final blow. But instead, the Welsh going to be the extremely youngster Jenkins who does the job. Hamish, and fishing after you catch a fish, you do breakfast of it? No, we probably won't catch a fish. To be honest, when I say fishing, it's more throwing a lure in the water, reeling it in, rinse and repeat about 50 times, maybe 100 times, and then go out for a breakfast at a restaurant or just wherever has food. That's the equivalent of our fishing. We just throw a lure in the water, reel it in, roll it back out there, nothing's happening, and go home. Sounds quite sad, really, but it's good fun. And a one on Uncle Sven and Lemon. That's crazy. Up all night streaming, then fishing, then straight to work. I don't know how you do that, says Schlanger. Yeah, to be fair, the fishing in between probably is something that could get taken out, but we'll probably end up doing it, to be honest. But then there is a chance that we might be pouring concrete on Tuesday instead. So I might get lucky. I might get the afternoon of Monday sleeping. But if not, I'll probably end up setting up the boxing for concrete instead. Also played cricket today, which was quite fun, which is why every once in a while you might see me slightly wince. And that's just because my groin keeps on cramping. So I'm trying to hide it well, but every once in a while I've got to stretch it out or else it feels like it's going to break. Hamish, do you do farming? Not a huge amount. Like every once in a while I'll shift irrigation, for dad and whatnot. Just because they've got a little farm block, him and his brothers, but not a lot of farming. Now, kicked up high. We've had a few lambs in the backyard. That counts. My grandpa's up all night streaming. No fish, though, says Fluffy. And howdy, Amish, says Beat Bob Williams. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. And the Sharks bet the Northern Free State earlier in the Curry Cup Premier Division, says Boulders and Steel. Yeah, I'm hoping to do a little bit of the Curry Cup this year. I'm not too sure when that's going to be slotting into the schedule. As you guys know, it's quite hectic already, but we're hoping to squeeze something in there at some stage. Nicely taken by Edgardo BSC, tackled by Liam Williams, and try long lining for Sheep. And Hamish, Do Hamish, you do a bit of shuttering? I thought that was going to be stuttering because I have mumbled and slurred my words quite a bit so far. But I mean, we have done a bit of shuttering if we are concrete talk, of course. That's a nice inside ball. Padovani. Now Varney links up one more pass. Here comes Canone. Finds another pop pass. It's going to be a lock who's dragged out 1 meter from the line. That's a try, I think, for Juan Ignacio Brex. URC next week. I think not next week, but the week after, I think it's coming back for the URC. But yeah, we've got about 50 shutters in the shed. I don't know whether this one's I think this one's just a boxing without shutters, just the timber. All right, yes, we are. Says Fleshin. But yeah, we actually turned one of our shutters into a cornhole board, which sounds a bit dodgy. But if anyone knows what cornhole is, it's like you throw a hacky sack through a hole, and it's a lot more fun when you're doing it than it sounds when I'm describing it. But it's a bit of fun. TMO review at the moment, checking whether or not this is going to be a try. Are you in Dunedin? Not quite. A few hours north. Right, they want to check the grounding first. You just threw it at the line. It's not football, bud. So I don't think that's going to be considered as a try, but there might be some sort of either. Oh, actually, yeah, one of those mini tape fingers might have just had enough control of that from that other angle. This angle looks bad because you can see it on one side of Josh Adams, and then the other side you see him throw it. So it looks like separation there. Does anyone want to hear myself Dunedin KFC stories? Not really, because I know that you talked about them a little bit earlier. And it sounds like you don't want to go to South Dunedin KFC. You can also do a fishing vlog video using the GoPro. We've actually done that once. We did film our fishing. I think that footage is on this one, which also has all the new cricket stuff. Cornholing, jacket sack in a hole. Sounds like someone will get pregnant. Says Grant. And my mate's a stutterer and he's losing work to precast concrete, says Fleshin. See, concrete's one of those jobs that it sucks, but it's kind of satisfying at the same time, isn't it? Because like trying to shift the stuff is terrible fun. There's like 4 players who fell down like they were playing 10-pin bowling in the back. Okay, they're checking to see if Liam Williams took a player off the ball, which he might have. And lock up your stakes, says Fluffy. And I enjoy watching the draw. Beat the Satyrs. Moana were unlucky against the Force. Super Rugby Pacific is getting better, says Boulders and Steel. Yeah, we've had a lot of close games. So how close was that Moana Pacifica game? I never actually saw the score of that one. In fact, I didn't even watch a single minute of it. That was a bit poor from myself. I have to watch a replay of that one. Oh, yes, a close game. Force 21-18. Okay, it's going to be no try. That took a long time for them to work out. Okay, I think Lamaro wanted a penalty try for that one. And Invercargill is the best place in New Zealand, 100%, says Schlanger. And is Dunedin the most cold place in New Zealand? It's quite chilly down there. I remember playing a game of South Canterbury cricket in Dunedin. And it was that, like the ground was still pretty much frozen. In fact, no, it had just finished freezing from like the morning because we had gone down for about an 11 a.m. start. And then it was the coldest breeze. It would have been about 3 degrees. Dunedin is hotter than a stutterer's cornhole, says Fluffy, and that looks better than the Morby try against the Blues try for Italy, says Nate, although they did disallow it. But yeah, like you're saying, if we're basing it off Morby's, that was a try every day of the week. For his, that is, not Morby's. Morby's was no try every day of the week, even Sundays, which it is currently here in New Zealand. And Italy need to catch up soon, says Boulders Steel. Looks like Wales are actually going to take on the 3 points here. Now, I would say that this 15-point lead will be quite handy. Springboks versus All Blacks Rugby Championship 2023. There's a yucko there. And also played cricket in the snow up Māori Hill was early November Says Fluffy and Morning Old says Bads and Blaze. Welcome in, mate. You are keeping well. Now, 27 minutes in at the moment. Wales looking to extend their lead. Now, I should mention 4 tries get you the bonus point in the Six Nations rather than the 3 or more than your opposition, like they do have in Super Rugby. Also, Grant, why are you talking about Katie Bunk? Hey, howdy, brother. How you do? Hope you're well. Says Scrum. That kick has missed away to the side. Out to the left for Owen Williams. Technically, we're talking about Mick Cornwall. Says Scrum. Now, you've been a while. Says Beds Blaze and Springboks will win the World Cup 4 times 2023. Says Yako. Do you think they'll win the under 20 World Cup as well, Yako, or just the men's World Cup? Kicked off by Garbisi from the 22. Now to Lupe Falatau. Runs it back. Manancello able to drag him down, and it's kind of, is it a mole yet? No, now he's got his knee to the ground. Had a girlfriend like that once up the Māori Hill 9 months later, says Nate. Have you heard that the new competition called Super Rugby Americas? I have. I've had a few people recommend it to me. I don't know whether or not they show it here in New Zealand, sadly. But yeah, it's good to see more competition starting up and getting more rugby around for these other sides. Nicotera having a little bit of a handling error there, but still bounces back onto the side of the Italians. It's a knock-on strip from Red, and it will be the scrum now for the Italians. No, the kid didn't resemble me at all, says Fluffy. And anyone have an update on the Western Province game? I can get you one. One moment. We'll go like this. Oops. Curry does not have 3 R's. Curry Cup. At the moment, Western Province are leading that one 34 points to 14 over the Golden Lions, and that is 50 minutes through that contest. And have you ever seen a kakapo in real life? I have. I believe, when did we see it? I want to say we saw it at Arthur's Pass for a school trip. We also saw a Kia tried to steal our windshield, like windshield wiper, that is. 48-36 to Western Province. Is it? Man, Google scoreboard's behind if that's the case. Wow. Okay, because currently on my scoreboard it's got 34-14 for the Western Province game. So I guess that could be very wrong though, I guess. As well that Moana just lost sadly, says Pezza Blaze. Yeah, they were close up against the Western Force, just not quite able to get the job done in the end. Now the Italians feeding this ball in again. I see teams from USA, Portugal, or sorry, not Portugal, Paraguay, Chile, Uruguay, and Argentina take part in Super Rugby Americas. It sounds like an exciting competition. And sorry, that was so wrong, says Gareth. He is always ready to fight. And yep, wasn't me. Putting description of Sasquatch, almost hairy and fluffy, says no. Josh Adams able to clean that one up at the back for the Welsh and gets it into touch. And also, Gareth is still drunk. It's 34-14 to Province. Says Grant. See, I haven't got Discord notifications on, but by the looks of it, you guys talk quite a bit in the Wickham Warrior thingy-mabob section, if I'm not wrong. You guys have been talking about the Sharks. I'm only, of course, slowly scrolling. There's like pictures of pizza, which I quite like pizza, so I'm sure I'll fit in just fine. Now around the side again. Sebastian Negri. On the side, once again, it's going to be Canoni. WWRFC, says Fleshin. And Scrumlance, it is real, says the Boulders and Steel. That's going to be another penalty, unfortunately. Obstruction against the Welsh. Well, sorry, against the Italians. And yes, we talk about many things, says Grant. I have to give it a look. I am hairless, says Fluffy. Like in general? Or? Thanks, Gareth. I was going to ask you, is winning Western Province in the Lions? I'm going to have to drink a lot of water over the next 24 hours. Should I go to the corner? Says Gareth. Yeah, go on. It's okay. You can stick around, Gareth. Unless you want to sit in the corner of the room you're currently in. We wouldn't judge you for it. We won't know if you do it. Just whether or not you really want to. Get on. Oh no. Ferrari once again has bled through that strapping that he's got around his eyes, so he will have to go off the field for a blood bin. Believe they've said that they have to make the sub, which means that Ferrari is very angry. Some would say that he's having his engine revved at the moment by the referee. Now Ricky Onyi going to make his way out onto the field for now while they fix that. And OMG, that was what the Super Rugby or Super Rugby A I saw was then going to make the connection. See, when I see SRA, I think of Super Rugby Aotearoa, just because they were the initials for that one. But it's Super Rugby Americas. Good to see. Nice work there from Wales. 30 metres out from the line with an advantage as well. Cross kick attempt going straight into touch. And they'll go back for another penalty. They may even consider taking on the 3 points at this point. And not even the corner to the corn hole. It does sound dodgy, doesn't it, cornhole, when you don't know what it is? And that serves a massive understatement, says Fleshin. And welcome, Scrum Less. Says Boulders and Steel. I'll check the cameras. I'll check the camera. Check the cameras at Gareth's house. Check if he is actually in the corner, says Grant. I feel like there's. I'm just thinking about. I feel like Gareth's an honest enough fella that he probably would be in the corner at the moment. It's a hole in the corn. There's Fluffy. Nice rolling ball here for Wales. So they did decide instead of going for the 3, they did want more than that. The ball might be held up. They're going to have to check it. Wales could actually win it. Here's Luke. They've got a decent chance. There's no point showing the ref now, Ken Owens, that everyone else has got off you. Okay, Carl Dixon saying he sees it being collapsed. Okay, currently no try but held up. And what with cornhole? Why not blowhole, holy ones? Says Nate. Oh, well. Yeah, I think it's something to do with the bags being made out of corn. When we made our bags, we just made them out of wheat, though. So, wheat hole? Wheat hole sounds a bit more dodgy, I think. Although cornhole, actually, no, that sounds worse. I'd like to see the winner of Super Rugby Pacific take on the winner of Super Rugby Americas later this year, says Boulders and Steel. Would be a cool match to see. Cornhole is, well, one's pucker that has a digestive issue with corn. I think this might end up being a penalty try. Unless it's a no try, just drag down short. Back and save is the worst store ever, says Schlanger. That is why I did my online shopping at a different supermarket. And that will be arriving in between 10 and 12:30 p.m. That's going to be a penalty try for Wales. 7 points on the board now, easy peasy. 22 points to 3. And the Italians are down a man. And it is going to be, I want to say that's Lorenzo Cannoni. Yes, it is. Going to the bin now. And Doggos sound like an interesting team, says Boulders and Steel. And if you were the Wales coach, who would you have as your number 10? I mean, of course, Big is your first option, but Williams doesn't look like he's doing too bad at the moment. It's just more of that case of who is your backup for Bigger. Similar to what Ireland have at the moment. Who's your backup for Sexton? It's a question that a lot of Irish have asked. And of course, for Ireland, I think the depth is a little bit more there than for Wales. Probably got about 3 or 4 choices, whereas Wales maybe one or two. When you say wheat hole, you've got to stress the T in wheat. Otherwise, it sounds worse. Wheat hole. Yeah, nah, now I can see what you're saying, Grant. I had to say it. I should have said it in my head. rather than out loud. That's going to be a 50-22 from Wales. Very well done from Reese Webb. They're currently trying to look for that bonus point within the first half. They were $1.97 underdogs as well on the TAB, and that was actually while they had 3 points on the board early. I wonder what the odds are now, though. I feel like they would have changed quite a bit. Italy are now $13 underdogs. There you go. That's how quickly it can all change. The ref is bad, says Gareth there. He's not happy with the referee. Trying to roll this one forward. I know what happened to Italy. I just stepped away momentarily, says Cited. I think Wales, perfect example of they've taken their chances, whereas Italy have had a couple close calls to the line and then they end up making the mistake. Nicotera this time, though, makes the penalty or wins the penalty for his team. Italy are having a shocker so far, says Boulders and Still. Kieran Hardy should be in with the shout for number 10. So who else other than Hardy is there for Wales? Owen Williams, he's a little bit of a newer one thrown in the hat. In terms of, I haven't seen his name mentioned for a little while as 10. You got Kieran Hardy, we'll say Owen Williams, Dan Bigger. Who's your other guy, if there is another guy? Is there another fella who's lurking, a young guy or someone? Ref is Ginger. He has no soul. He's from Australia, though, so, anyone who has ginger hair in Australia, you got to be quite sneaky because it's easy to get burnt in Australia. My brain stopped working. If Wales are kicking ass, Grant's going to leave the Super Brew humbug. And Anscombe's a good option. Italy will come back and win the Six Nations this year, says Schlanger. This year's one. Or our nice run forward for the fullback to Masso Allen. Back across to the side again here, the Italians looking for one. They crack before Gareth Anscombe. And Anscombe says big unit there. Costello from Scarlets should be Wales number 10. That's a name that I haven't heard too much of. And Gareth's a great Welsh name to call a Scots child. I'm not rolling away penalty against Ken Owens. If Italy take the 3 points here, I think I would probably cry a little bit. Just a tad, because they shouldn't. He's always bloody injured, though, says Felician. Some players are like that, aren't they? How anytime they pick up momentum, they just hurt themselves or get hurt, and then you don't see them for another 5 months or so. Lonely woman looking for love. That sounds like right up my alley. No, wait, he's Kiwi, says Nate. Oh, is that Anscombe? But at every ginger should be locked up. They are defective. I'm sure we have plenty of ginger viewers, Grant. But saying that, we don't know their living situations, do we? Right, making a change here now. I wonder if someone has said, hey, watching from prison once. I think that's the only time that that's happened, though. Here's a question, ladies and gentlemen, which you don't have to answer. Where's the weirdest spot you've watched a Kiwi lad stream from? Or the weirdest place? He's a Kiwi, but adopted by the Welsh. There's big unit. Now, I'm not your illegitimate child, Fleshin. Tackle release. Italy, 90 seconds remaining in the first half. Now, Varney, short ball again. My spaghetti's gone flat. Hate when that happens. Oh, juggled ball again, unfortunately, but they will get going back on the toilet. I feel like that's got to be most people's weirdest one, doesn't it? And thanks for reminding me of my team's number 10, says Fleshin. And my power is out in my area. So I'm listening to your commentary on my phone. Nice to see Italy improving, says Krampus. I knew you'd be in at some stage, Krampus, throughout this one. Everyone's done it, don't lie. Other women looking for mates on your show, which seems that way. Although the thing is, they're just trying to give us viruses, sadly. I have a question. Why can't I see those bots no more? I did time that one out. I was pretty quick, so maybe that's why. I think I was maybe a bit too speedy. And watching on the Swiss cable car, Wow. Alwyn Jones is Wales' best youngster, says Cited. I think he's got another World Cup or two in him. I think he'll make it to 2027. Alwyn Jones, knee replacement surgery and whatnot, and then he'll be right. He'll be all good to go. A charge in forward for the Italians. That's going to be dragged down. Was it illegal? No. They've said that it's going to be fine, so they will be able to try and dig this one out for Varney. Only 5 seconds remaining. Oh, he's just punched a guy in the leg. That'll do it. I'm sure he felt it. Now, a Wales advantage given away. The weirdest place where I live, it looks like the surface of the moon, says Grant. How's it, Irish? Or how's it, Nate? Well, Irish needs his duvet to hug him sleep. Oh, they'll be sleeping in about 6-7 hours, somewhere around there. This sounds like it might be something a little bit more serious than just a penalty soon. And no, Alwyn Jones needs to retire after the South Africa tour, says Fletcher. Nah. 2031 World Cup, that's when he'll go. Surely. He's like Mornay Stain. Mornay Stain's back for the next British and Irish Lions tour of South Africa. He'll be back. Like Arnold. Oh, so Italy were going to have the penalty, but because they foul played on the far side of the field, the foul play actually is worse, they say, than the original penalty. So it means that they're going to have that one reversed. Wales more than likely will kick this one into touch and call it half time. And also we have got there works or houseworks over there. What's that? Scrum has said about men washing the the buttholes. Where'd that come from? Did someone say something earlier? Or, no, it was just about the surface of the earth. Uh, white back to front. Okay, so that might have been where it came from. Right, Wales have got themselves the penalty. I think they might consider going. Do they keep it going? No, they take the quick tap, kick it into touch, and it's going to be halfway or half time. And no, we don't want Alwyn Jones to lose his god status, his fleshing. You think it's going to be like when they try and bring back like an old fighter in the UFC or something, and you feel like he's going to like lose that spark? Or what's another example? Like in the WWE, how they'll bring back like a 60-year-old wrestler and be like, look at him. He's still as sharp as he used to be, and it just doesn't quite work the same way. All right, so Damon Murphy having a bit of a conversation with Michelle Lamaro there. The lead coach looks pissed, as you would be. Hasn't quite gone their way. And also, we have got their swinging it here, make it busy. Thanks, Nate. No time to slack off. And the Welsh will tie Alwyn Jones to the goalpost for defence. Yeah, he's not happy at all, Kieran Crowley. He's stomping away to the change in sheds. He's playing after the Wales-Italy game. The next game will be the matchup between France and England. So a big one. Both sides need this win to have any chance of winning the Six Nations. Whoever loses this game has no shot of being able to win it. I've seen a double-headed eel once. I saw a dead eel the other day. Sounds a bit out of nowhere, doesn't it? But we went fishing and there was just this random dead eel next to the water. We didn't catch any fish, like I mentioned earlier on. Our fishing equivalent is throw it in the water, reel it in, throw it in the water, reel it in, do that a heap of times and then go home. Successful. And Italy can stir a lot of pasta with another wooden spoon, says Crumpus there. Oh, the Italians, who knows what happens? I mean, Wales certainly helping themselves, though, getting themselves a possible bonus point, I should say. Although currently points differential, they did need a big win here for the Welsh because Italy had a points differential of minus 36. Wales had a points differential of minus 62. And also this ref is a Lotus twat. Dubious decisions, says Paul. I don't think I've ever heard someone described that way, but I mean, it's not a mile off at times for Damon Murphy, to be honest, but interesting calls at times. We're going to talk. I'm going to talk for all. Scarif, any chance of Italy making the semi-final? No semi-finals in this one, Luke. Just whoever's at the top gets through and wins. Pretty much. Why does Italy struggle so much? I think it's they go well against great teams. That's nothing against Wales. They go, sorry, I'll reword it. They go well against informed teams, which is the likes of an Ireland. They did pretty well up against them. France, they did play pretty decently in their game up against the French as well. But it's games up against a side that have been struggling that are then trying to build back into it that Italy seem to struggle with as well. I mean, in the World Cup. Semi-finals tricky because that would mean that they wouldn't just get past the group stage. That would mean that they then get past the quarterfinal where they will face either Ireland, Scotland, or South Africa. So it's a long road for the Italians. For all the people interested, Golden Lions 14, Western Province 41. France should beat England. And go on, Hamish, say it as it is. We are crabs, says Flesh. It did sound harsh, didn't it? Didn't mean it that way, but yeah. It was, yeah. Then sitting down and appreciate the stream. Big love all says, hello, Seb. Hope you are doing well, mate. Italy's momentum and the bubble burst, says Brooke. Yeah. It's a tricky one to keep going when you've had so many close games at times and then don't get the win. Sometimes it's like, it's really tricky. And 22-3. Thanks, bro. Didn't think is going to be that one side, and Scotland are playing great rugby. They are. I hope, for the sake of the final round of the Six Nations, I hope that Scotland win up against the Irish. If anyone's Irish, I do apologise very much. Didn't mean it. Didn't mean it at all. But just because then there'd be three sides on probably around 15, 14, and it will be like everything will be on the line for that final round, which I think is something that would be quite cool to see. Because even to an extent, if Scotland don't beat Ireland, I'd like to see England. Oh, actually, no, if France can win that game as well, because both of them. Oh, it's a bit too much, though, points differential wise. Actually, no, England pretty much have to beat France by 30 and get a bonus point to be able to go with Ireland. So I think, yeah, Scotland, for the sake of it, has to win. And you can't say that. Yeah, I know. Get me in trouble with my Irish viewers, I think. And also, Timothy F is going on with this chat. Please play the ukulele. I don't have a ukulele. My guitar is currently still out and about, but I'll have to get it at some stage soon so that I can play you a lovely song. I don't know many songs on the ukulele or guitar, though, unfortunately. And Seb in the chat says, Gareth, is indeed. Looks like the wheels come off the Italy bus in that first half. Although they usually mount a strong comeback, I predict Wales will get revenge for last year. And also, are you covering any of the Curry Cup? We are hoping to at some stage. Probably not in the next couple of weeks, though. We'll probably be a little bit further down the line, or down the line, I should say. Currently, the way that the table sits, Wales are yet to get themselves a point on the Six Nations. Italy sitting there on the 1 point, France sitting on 10, England sitting on 10, Scotland on 10, and then at the top of the bunch, it was Ireland still sitting there on 15 with their points differential of 51, a lot higher than anyone else in the Six Nations competition. And it's going to be an interesting one because, like I mentioned, that Ireland-Scotland game tomorrow is definitely going to determine a lot when it comes to the Six Nations. I mean, Miss Gareth Mason says a mumbo jumbo. Yeah, that was the shocking news for rugby YouTube of 2022. It's crazy to think that that's almost a year ago, I think, since his passing. Yeah, we never actually got a chance to do a collaboration with Gareth in the end, which is a bit sad. I was in his chat a few times on a couple of his live streams, but you never got the chance to collaborate with him. In the end. Hey, you, Ruth, haven't eaten anything yet. I'm hangry. And I mean, for the right money, you could have it cleaned for you, says Gareth. What? How did this start? I feel like it was. Was it you saying you wiped front to back or back to front, Gareth, and then Katie decided about the cleansing, the bidet style type arrangement. Eddie Jones will win the World Cup, says Crumpus. Do you go to church? I do not. Normally I'm awake way too late on a Sunday morning. Like currently it's 4:15 a.m. I'll be sleeping. I'll wash it with a hose for a bucket of KFC. There's Fluffy, smart man. I think Ireland will just squeak past Scotland. Though I also think England will beat France. France aren't as good as people think, in my opinion. And Eddie Jones is going to terrorise the All Blacks in 5 years, or 4 or 5 years. And also the Golden Lions, or Golden Lions 21, 41 for the Western Province. This is a great game, says Grant there as well. I wonder if they're actually showing that here in New Zealand. I'm going to have a quick Google. In fact, I don't actually have to Google. I can just go on to that. Surely we got Curry Cup here, don't we? I don't think they've got the Curry Cup here in New Zealand. Oh no, there it is. It's on about Sky Sport 58. What channel is that? Sky Sport Select, I think. Might be it. And the bum cleaning fun. Do I have to put that message up on the screen, Patty? Well, there you go. Thanks for the donation, Patty. Hugely appreciate it. Yeah, it's not mine. Yeah. Oh, that's very loud now. And also, okay, let's try and talk rugby. Italy are poor today, haven't turned up. Our Wales are playing well at last. As a neutral, I've always liked their flair, says Stefan. And it certainly helps Wales because they needed a good game under Gatlin before we got out of the Six Nations. And it does seem like this is going to be that game that they're able to do so. And then looking at matches, like I've got France next week. That's going to be a very tricky game. Definitely because it's taking place in France. So that makes it just there a little bit tough. We should beat Scotland easy enough. Says Gathel there as well. And it just needs Adam to score a try here, says Aiden. France are struggling with the expectation of the money. They bribed to get the World Cup and being at home. Says Flesh. And yeah, I haven't really read too much into the financial situation Wales find themselves in. I know that it's not a good one anyway. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how it kind of develops. Hugh Jones is running for New Zealand Prime Minister 2029. Doesn't he have to be a New Zealand citizen to be able to do that? He's an Aussie. And why are Italy playing badly? Are some of their players getting carded? They have got one yellow card at the moment for the Italians, and that was just in the end Lorenzo Cannoni. He did end up getting himself yellowed. But I think Italy just haven't really been able to take their chance. Could you imagine if New Zealand lost to Italy? I can see it happening in the next few years. And that's in all seriousness. Italy are one of those sides. Like last time we played Italy, we almost got beaten by them. We got very lucky in the end to be able to walk away with the victory. But yeah, I mean, Italy, if they keep on going at the rate that they are and continuing to improve, yes, I know people will go, ha ha, look at the score though, you silly Kiwi. But I think, give them a couple more years, they will keep on getting stronger and stronger. Hopefully, because we've seen all those under 20 players that they've got coming through the rankings, which is also good. I think the French knock off England tonight. Says it was there from Aiden. No Capuzio equals no Italy, says Brooke. And also get the man some eggs. And come on, man, Italy couldn't beat a New Zealand schools 15, says Mo. I don't know. What was the score the last time New Zealand played Italy? I think we narrowly snuck by, didn't we? NZ versus Italy rugby. The Rugby World Cup, it was 0-0 at full time, apparently. That's not the right result. When was it? We had to go back through Italy's results. Find their game up against the Kiwis, but they didn't get beaten by New Zealand by much. Where are we? We'll go to the next page. Italy versus New Zealand. Okay, that one was not the one that I was looking at. Where's the game that I'm looking for? Was it not New Zealand that they almost beat? No, it must not have been. New Zealand actually managed to beat them quite comfortably. Who did we almost lose to? We almost lost to Japan, didn't we? Sorry, got the wrong side there. In fact, we almost lost to a few teams. But Italy luckily wasn't one. New Zealand, who else did we almost lose to? We'll go like this. New Zealand results. So we almost lost to Scotland. We almost lost to England. We almost lost to Japan. We almost lost to Australia. We did lose to Argentina. We did lose to South Africa. We did lose to Ireland twice in a row in a home series for the first time ever. We got beaten by France. We got beaten by Ireland. So it's been better. And well done to the Western Province for beating Gaeltacht. Hopefully I said that correctly. And Lions, I lost in Scotland, says Gareth. Yeah, they were the team that I was thinking of. I knew that they were a dark blue. Got them around the wrong way. Going to be here for the England and France game, Scrumless. Says Nate. And also that's why they share them, says Gareth. And we'll be losing to Singapore soon, says Fluffy. Yeah, they're going to make sure they don't lose those important ones of the World Cup, that is for sure. Because that's the thing, Italy almost beat France. So imagine if Italy beat France in the Rugby World Cup. That would be massive for them. I've been looking forward to it. Is Scrumless. I'm too lazy cooks. Noodles always win, says Nate. Noodles are a good option. Schlanger said the Fijian drawer. Yeah, we almost lost to Fiji as well back in the day, didn't we? That was in 2021, I think. Keyword is almost damaged. We never lost to Japan, says Cameron. True. Very true. And it was New Zealand's Rugby World Cup pool, or who's in it. So we've got Italy. We have got France, New Zealand. Who else squeezes in there? There's two other teams, and I've forgotten them now. They are slightly lower ranked sides. Who's not on my brain at the moment. And also, we have got the Amish. Are they talking about on your show? This is family show. I never said nothing, Roof. I've been keeping very silent about the butthole situation. And also, you don't, or you're doing the Scotland Island game tomorrow, I assume that is. We are indeed doing that one. And I think we might even have George with us for that live stream. Morning, Hamish. I was on the other channel, says Spider Mick. Welcome in, Spider Mick. Hope you are doing well, Hamish. Normally boys hit boys, but at my school the girls are hitting the boys, says Luke. That used to mean back in my day when I was at a school, that used to mean that the girls quite like some of the boys. Yeah, that used to be the thing. But I don't know, because Luke, you said that some guy who's out of school because he's too old is now still dating one of the younger people at your school. So I feel like your school's probably a bit wonky in some regards. Alan Wynne Jones endorses. In fact, as of late, stands for ass wiping Jack. There you go. Now Kanoni. I'm trying to march this one forward again. Going off to Padovani. Vani. Going back across again. Italy need a great start to the second half. They are still a man down for another minute or so. And Italy will be desperate to make the quarterfinals for the first time at the Rugby World Cup 2023. And, that's close to a turnover, but it will bounce back out the back. Vani. Now the Garbisi. Men on the outside if they can get it right now. Nice run forward from Federico Ruza. Vani, Garbisi. The combination that we'll be hearing quite a bit in the future. My school is like a prison, Hamish, but it's my last year, says Luke. That probably isn't a bad thing, Luke. Great run. The middle from Sebastian Negri almost went straight through the middle. I think it was Tuparik almost got himself the turnover. But now around the side, Varney decides that it's worth a pick and go. Marcel Allen is on the inside. Now Ferrari, they've been able to stop the bleeding. You know what? If trying to stay up, good night all. Have fun watching the rugby. Says Bears Blaze. We will see you later on. And if I'm a mumbo jumbo Kiwi, what's a Kiwi? What's a South African? Oh, it's a bounce that is of dreams. Who was that? Was that Tommaso Allen who kicked the ball through? It was. And it's going to be the try for the big man. That'll do for Italy. First try of the second half, and it goes the way of the home side. With a man disadvantage, is the comeback on. It was Sebastian Negri who was able to score it. Almost, yeah, straight through with that original line break for the Italians, moving up to the 22 and then found that offload Varney. Then it was that little chip and chase set up for Sebastian Negri, and he scores the try. Come on, Welsh Dragons kick some Italian butt. There's Roof. Now Tommaso Allen. Doing very well for that chip. That kick's going to go over for the Italians as well. So now making the score 10 points to 22. Is there still time in this contest? I think there sure is. To be honest, surely Wales do not do what they've done in a couple other games. G'day, mate, says Greg Gore. Welcome in, Greg. You are doing well. Are you from Gore or is that your last name? Out of curiosity, because if you are from Gore, it's currently 4:30 a.m. where you are. What an early morning start. Going to be kicked off high. Nicely taken by Italy inside of their 22. Random push happening there in the background from the Welsh. Maybe a bit of frustration coming out. Now, nice backline movement. They've got numbers. Inside ball does go to Varney. He's been able to regather nicely. Looking for the pass. Goes into touch. It will now be the Welsh line out. And ola to all my cuzzy bros, says Bottomik. And so, yeah, basically nocturnal Hamish here, Schlanger to a certain extent, but also not in some ways. Because, like, today I got up at 10 a.m. Or, sorry, yesterday I got up at 10 a.m. So, got up, played in my cricket final, which didn't go the best, but played in that till about 6, I believe. We played about 8 hours. No, sorry, we played about 6 hours. It started at 12. And then came home, 2 Super Rugby live streams back to back, and now 2 Six Nations back to back. And then waiting for the delivery of the groceries. Nice run from Pierre Bruno. Italy seemed like they've come out. Maybe Kieran Crawley. We mentioned how he looked angry when he went into the changing sheds. He's dropped the ball. Thomas Francis trying to kick it in behind. Going to be sitting up for Pierre Bruno. They've got a stoppage for a player being down by the looks of it. And who's running on Wales? Or for Wales on the wings, they have got Rio Dyer and Josh Adams. And Adams we've hardly seen. And Expat Safa, I'm loving the Six Nations in the channel. Says Greg God. Do appreciate that a lot. And we've got plenty more Six Nations. Oh, question for you, Greg. Scotland or Ireland tomorrow? Who do you think's going to manage to get themselves the win? This seems like they might say that Pierre Bruno might end up with a penalty against him here for leading with the forearm. Said straight elbow to the jaw of Wyn Jones. And also, you're a lot of missing some proper mad rugby in the Western Province versus Lions game. And also horizontal Big Mac incoming. Fluffy. Right. Yeah, that's extended. He's kind of led like that. It looks like it's around the throat region. This might end up being a yellow card for Bruno. Maybe, maybe not. What do they decide? Hit the chest first. Yellow card. Sounds like it is going to be. And his chat is doing a bit foul. It has for some reason. Everyone's just in a weird mood for a Six Nations live stream. I have so many things to ask right now. Says Gareth. No, ref again. And the red card says Grumpus. Nah, just a yellow. Up against Pierre Bruno there. I blame social media, says Fluffy. I always shout for Scotland, but would love to see Ireland win the World Cup, says Greg Gore. Ireland, but Scotland will put up a decent fight. Yeah, hopefully it's close between the two sides. We are going to be covering it on the channel. They might actually check that one again from that angle. There's high force. This sounds like it might actually be upgraded to a red card. Okay, Carl Dixon's just explained the rule to Damon Murphy. He said that if you see it as a strike, it's a red. If you see it as a push away, it's a yellow. He's seen it as a push away, it's a yellow card. Yeah, Bruno, like they said, maybe a little bit lucky at the moment. I agree, Schlanger, the mod should do something about this. The ones who don't contribute to the filth, says Sebastian. And also final score, Golden Lions 21-44 for the Western Province. Manu Tuilangi got red carded for the same, says Mr. Fantastic AJ. And Hamish, any chance of you getting married next year and streaming your wedding on YouTube? Says Luke. I would have to get a girlfriend first, Luke. And I would say that a year after getting a girlfriend to get married, streaming it would be a bit soon. I think overall, we all know the Halloween situation. So you're not rushing into too much at the moment. I landed my mother's family name was Jones, says Ruth. But yeah, I don't think I'll live stream a wedding. I don't live stream a cricket final. So I don't think a wedding would get live streamed all Adams on his back, but did he get it just over the line? I think he was held up. In the end, by a wife from Thailand, says Krampus. And these are children. Well, there are children on this live stream, so behave. Everyone says boulders and steel. How many beers do you drink per week? 0 normally. I just drink water. And Powerade zeros, they keep me going. Only 34 minutes remaining. Greetings, Hamish. For me, it was on the edge of red, and I hoped Italy would do it today. Idiotic play like that, it's not going to help them, says Mountains of Asylum. Exactly right. Wait, Josh Adams scored. Did you say no? Missed out. Was held up in the end, Aiden. Now they will be going off to his wing now. Josh Adams, he's got a bit of a chance, does the chip and chase, but it's going to be charged down by the Italians. They'll be able to cut it off, and they will be playing only 14 out on the field again for the next 8 minutes of this fixture. Moving up to 22 metres out. And the penalty goes to Wales. Right, I believe they will end up kicking this one for the touchline. Water is very healthy, says Ruth. Good one, Hamish. No woman, no cry. Good song by Bob Marley. Oh. 13 blue tackle off the ball. So that'll be against Juan Inacio Brex. It seems like they just keep on getting it slightly wrong. What is the smallest country in New Zealand? Well, New Zealand is the country. Nothing wrong with a few beers, mate. Says Schlanger. Yeah, I just don't get time. I just have Powerade. That's pretty much my electrolytes that I need. And then I just drink water. Okay, back to the secondary game. Says Grant. I play rugby in Italy, just north of Milan, says Gareth. Well, I played rugby. We did go to the pub the other day, though, me and George. But that was the night before me cricket final. So I had a bag of salt and vinegar chip, and some random 65-year-old lady got her breasts out, which was an interesting experience. Although luckily for me, I wasn't really paying attention. Just like always, I was just off with the fairies. George's comment was, they weren't bad for her age, which is a very George thing to say. And Italians making spaghetti, meatballs out of this game, says Ruth. And Italy is so improved, they only need 14 players, says Krampus. I think they scored their first try with 14 men out on the field, Krampus. Nicely taken by the Welsh. Trying to get the rolling ball going. Doesn't look like it's moving too far at the moment. Now it looks like it will be Reece Webb. Does he want it? No, no one's has said, no, hang on to this for a little bit longer. Let's see whether or not we can wheel it around. I believe a lot of the Italian players will have to get out of the way of that one. Now Webb trying to kick that one across. I think it actually hit his teammate in the end and now sent downfield from Tommaso Allen. Also, we have got there we watch or when you watch Italy sing the anthem, guys are going to win. But then they play like, oh, then they play and it's like, what's going on? Where are they? That's the same with the Welsh though. They have a brilliant national anthem, but sometimes it doesn't work. I wasn't there a game 2 years ago. Only had 12 players, says Gareth. I mean, we've had a couple recently that I think we had 13 on 13 not too long ago. Major Waimeti pub boobies is Fluffy and she offering a cup of tea. For the lads, you have to appreciate the moment, boss, says Sebastian. I was watching the band and then I just heard George screaming. Well, not really screaming. Oh, great run up the middle from Reece Webb. Finds the pass on the inside. Talupe Falatau will get the bonus point try for the Welsh. That'll help them out big time. Get them towards the 5. That's 5 points for this match, I should say, rather than the 5. Although it is worth the 5. Hello from Fisher Cape Town. Prefer your live stream to anyone else's. I like your lack of bias, says Brian. Do appreciate that, Brian. And we've got plenty more coming, whether that's Super Rugby, Six Nations, the Sevens, the URC. What else do we cover? We cover a lot of random stuff. So yeah, be sure to stick around. We've got plenty more coming up, including the game after this one, which is going to be England versus France. Should be an exciting one. That 65-year-old lady is your future girlfriend, Hamish, says Grant. I'm shouting for the Welsh today, says Brian. Yeah, they've just secured themselves their bonus points, 17 points in the lead now. And also, no, I'm sure he is screaming, says Fluffy. No cry, repeat on the turntable and bonus point for Kimru and Gareth. Brian, howdy. I'm in the observatory, says Aruf. Was it Adams who scored, says Aiden? It was not. It was Talupe Falatau. Samoa and Tonga should be competitive at the 2023 Rugby Union World Cup due to having Moana. Super Rugby Pacific says Boulders and Steel. Do you follow the NRL? I do. We haven't done too many live streams for the NRL as of yet. We just did the 2 preseason games for the Warriors, but we're hoping to do a few more in the near future. Once the cricket season settles down in terms of me playing cricket, once that calms down a bit, I'll have a bit more time on a Saturday. And also LMAO. And Marcus Smith starting at 10. Owen on the bench or gone. I think Owen Farrell's coming off the bench at number 22 in that matchup. I'm half Italian, Welsh. So I have a hairy, pasty. Okay. Good. Shams. He's chucked the drinks off the field. He's not happy, but that is the end of his night for Josh Adams. Looks like he's going to be replaced. Now Lewis Rees-Zammit made his way onto the field. Owen has gone. Can't be bothered anymore, says Krampus. Yeah, Josh Adams taken off. Rees-Zammit makes his way out onto the field now. Be kicked high from Reece Webb. Now, didn't look comfortable under that one, Pitavani, and it bounces back onto the side of the Welsh, who still have a man advantage for the next 3 minutes. Kicking it in behind. 3 Italians trying to chase it back. And the bounce is favourable for Tommaso Allen, who does get the ball into touch. And it's a decent clearance in the end, about 40 metres out now. The Welsh will have themselves the line out. I think the only way that Italy have a real chance in this game is if they score the next try. If Wales get the next one, then this game is well and truly done and dusted. Whereas Italy, don't get me wrong, 19 points is a lot, but it's 3 converted tries in 28 minutes. Something that most of the Six Nations sides do have the ability to do. Now, nice wide pass there from Williams. Goes off to Lewis Rees-Zammit, who already is showing off his pace. Hamish, the proper way to pronounce, or teach Hamish the proper way to pronounce Cymru? Is it Cymru? Did I say it wrong? I said Cymru, didn't I? And also Rees-Zammit, probably the top wing in the world these days, says Brian. Certainly one of the quickest in there at the moment, but it's a tricky one because he has had a couple injuries, which has kept him out of action for a little bit of time. They look like a knee chop for Liam Williams. Rio Dyer waiting for that one out on the wing. Like the video, guys, says Deborah. Anyone who is new as well, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back for the next match between England and France. And also, a little bit later on tonight, we will be covering tomorrow night, we will be covering Ireland versus Scotland. And Owen Farrell lining up for Manchester United recovery for 7-0. And also Cymru. Ah, Cymru. How does that work with the RU? I'll go with it though, Cymru. But no, it's way better than Zamet says Gareth. As I have a lot of family in Wales, I will also, or I was always cheer on whoever they are playing. It's always, oh, it always makes conversations way more fun. Mountains of Asylum. Like they are not too far away from bringing out Thomas Williams onto the park as well to replace Reece Webb. England rose by 20 over the French, says Spider Meg. The good news for England in that game is they've got home advantage. They will try their absolute best, get a big win, get right up behind the Irish, and then make that last game mean that much more. That's going to be the penalty to Italy. What about Regan? Isn't that Welsh? Says Ruth. 18 red collapsing, so that will be the replacement Dylan Lewis, who's gone down. And Hamish was just taught Welsh by a vampire from Blackpool, says Grant. And wow, Williams. Ruth, yeah, quite an uncommon name in Wales, of course. Thomas Williams now makes his way out onto the park. That is replacing Reece Webb. Had a relatively solid game so far. The Welsh number 9. A bit of an applause from the crowd on his way off. It's got less 10 likes only. I just smashed that like button. Thanks for the reminder. Hamish keeps us all in the loop. And Marcus Smith was born in the Philippines. So that should help grow rugby union there, says Boulders and Steel. Oh, it's a drop ball from Italy. It seemed like a miscommunication there. About 2 or 3 players all going for that same ball. Get home advantage against Scotland as well. How did that turn out for us? Yeah, but that was the first game, wasn't it? That's always England's bogey match. They go head-to-head with Scotland at the start. And it's Cymru, says Vleshin. Now Bruno about to make his way out onto the field again after his yellow card. It came at a costly time. We've already seen the Welsh manage to get 7 points while he was off the field. Liam Williams perched right behind the scrum. That's a big push. Too much push, though. Both sides going up in the front row. Wales was created by just one family. There's Krampus. That's it. Here's Fleshin. Comrie. And unlike Fleshin, I use the PG version of the first part of the word. Sebastian. And also, yes, you pronounced Cymru perfect. There's Peter and yeah, Kiwi lads, rock and rollers. Always enjoy your energy. Hey, says Ruth. Yeah, we've got plenty more coming up later on tonight. I think England versus France. It's a game that a lot of people are intrigued by because it slightly sets the tone for the Ireland-Scotland game tomorrow night. This game was an important one for both of these sides, though. This was the match that they needed to try and prove that they were both still right up there in terms of contenders. And Italy, they've managed to make a little bit of a comeback. They're sitting 19 points down at the moment, though, which will be quite tricky. Also, what advanced social media group are you from? Says Slowfinger JC. And also, Wales was created by a dragon and a then getting jiggy. And then there is Mara Toje, who has Nigerian heritage. So I encourage those fans from Nigeria to tune in to England against France. I'm not PG with Cymru are in the before the World Cup. But maybe they can improve. The main thing. This will be Gat's first win if it stays the way that it is. I might be having a sleep for an hour. When I get home, knackered like a workhorse. Says Ruth. Yeah, see, I'm thinking strategy-wise. I know that my groceries are going to be arriving between 10:30 and 12. I think. I got an email. But I might be wrong. It's between 10 and 12:30. So strategically, I could sleep between like 8 and 10, wait around for my groceries, get them, and then go back to sleep for the rest of the day. Well, in the Philippines, Smith Took up rugby at an age of 7 while living in Singapore, first playing for the Centaurs RFC while the family settled in Brighton. Swiss beat Ukraine for this game as well, 59 points to 32. And Italy just need 2 quick tries, says Neo. That is true. If they get 2 quick tries straight away in the next 10 minutes, last 13 or so minutes of this game, it is well and truly on. But they need to make sure that they aren't giving up that position a little bit too easily like they have at other times throughout this matchup so far. Good run forward from the number 8 team. And also, I can't sleep in the afternoon. If the sun's up, I just can't for some reason. I used to be that way up until I think the first day that I slept during the day was after I did a 31-hour day of live streaming. And I just was like, well, I have to. Like, if I don't, there's going to be trouble for me. So, yeah, I think that 31 hours worth, we did about 10 live streams, something like that. I think we had live stream for 20 plus hours. And I was just like, yeah, nah, I got to try and sleep during the day. And luckily it works. So now I'm kind of getting better at it, sleeping during the day. Although it does get real hot because my window, the direction that it is, the sun comes in early in the morning. So my room's always really warm. So it's like a sauna when I wake up. And Atoje is definitely Nigerian. There's Krampus. And Amaratoje is an Englishman, not Nigerian. Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. Now nicely taken there by, it was Owen Williams. Returning fire. Looks like there's a player down at the moment for the Italians. Once again, Italy find themselves slightly playing with 14. And Williams now charging back out. Put the boot downfield again. They will continue up until that player is either in the way or they feel that it could end up getting connected with the play close to the touchline. Thomas Williams doing well now, going for a bit of a banana kick. Atoje admitted it, says Krampus. What is this thing called? A sun. Says Fleshin. That's a decent kick downfield from Williams. And also thanks for the clarity. Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. And your circadian rhythm is in tip-top shape, says Scrumless to Schlanger. And O-Time for short nap. Up on time to watch England-French game. See you there, Hamish. Says Spider Mac. Hamish, rather. Could you not correct the first one before you, sent it? Or did you edit? No, you wouldn't have edited the message. Interesting. Yeah, hopefully you do get a good little nap in. You've got an hour, somewhere around there, if you want to catch the first half, that is. And go Wales, showing all the love from South Africa, says Knowledge. So now going for the rolling maul here, the Italians. Through the middle and fine by the sounds of it. It's being dragged down as well. I don't think this ball's going to be coming out. I think Wales have done enough. Yes, they have. And it's now going to be their scrum feed. And everybody thought Atoje was English, but he said nope. Says Krampus Amara. Atoje was born in Camden, North London, to Nigerian parents. Says Gathel. Amara Atoje is not English or Nigerian. Says Cited. And no bother Mumbo. Says Gathel. 20 minutes remain, and that is a good bit of work from Adam Baird to get the turnover for Wales. The second half's gone a lot slower than the first, I have to say. But I think that's because, it's one of those ones that until Italy score again, I don't think the clock will speed up. Once Italy get another try, then the tempo might go up a little bit more on this match. We've had quite a few scrums, quite a few lineouts. Also a few injuries as well, so that might actually be why. It's been longer. Tommy Reffel now making his way out onto the field for Wales. I believe they've already made quite a few of their changes. Dylan Lewis is out there. Gareth Thomas, I think, is now out on the field. They haven't made the change of Scott Baldwin yet. Tommy Reffel's out there. Thomas Williams is. George North, I don't believe is. And then Lewis Rees-Zammit, the other player who they have changed. That's going to be a big push. And that will be the penalty to Wales. Google says he's born in Camden. There's Brian. Oh, okay, there's a bit of a push and a shove here between the two sides. Someone not happy about the scrum, and Toby Falatau playing amazing, and Tommy Riffle needs to be the number 7 going forward. Also, yeah, Will Rowlands and Christ Chinza need to be the lock, says Bing. And it's too late for Italy, says Neo. Yeah. The only way for them to have a real chance is to get 2 tries before 70 minutes. Okay. It, I think the captain of Italy just said that the Welsh players were spitting into their faces. I don't know if that was lost in translation or if that's actually what he said that they were doing. Wales got this game, says Luke. And also too much for Italy, says Gathel. That one hasn't found touch though from the Welsh. Now we'll be kicking this one back downfield. Nicely taken by Williams. Goes across to Williams. Kicked him behind. And, taking the player out in the air. He had eyes for the ball, though. But it's a knock on by Red. So it won't be a penalty, just the knock on. Maybe, he's not European anymore. There's Brian. But they'll be going back for the initial one. And that will now be going for the scrum. Looks like Liam Williams has hurt himself in the process there. Well and truly ended up going in, cleaning up Alejandro Fusco. Yeah, big collision. That looked like it hurt. Yeah, 2 bodies just smacking together in midair. I think that this specifies or think the specifics where people come from secondary to whether that person is actually capable of acting like a normal, caring human being. Says Slowfinger JC. And Nigeria does play rugby union. They are lower down on the world rankings. Boulders and steel. It looks like Liam Williams' night might be done. So this is when we will see George North make his way out onto the field now. Gives his teammate Williams a bit of a clap as he goes past. What's your prediction on this one? I think Wales are going to get the win. What did I say? Wales by 10, I think, was my initial prediction. But it's looking like it could be a little bit more one-sided than that. There should be a yellow, not much difference to the Italian yellow earlier. Says Mountains of Asylum. Ball about to be fed in. It is going to be Alejandro Fusco. Like I mentioned, he was the man who actually went up for the catch earlier on. Now, ball being fed in. I've realised I look very shiny. It's because I wore sunscreen earlier on, and I am still shiny from that sunscreen. It's annoying though, because I still feel like I've got the sunscreen on me, but I'm looking forward to having a shower and wiping it all off. That's a good run from the Italians. Now Fusco moves up to only about 15 metres out from the Welsh line. Pass was a little bit rough. Kick attempted in behind, and it just rolls into touch 5 metres out from the line. It was gone for Italy, says Boulders and Steel. George North plays rugby, says so. He does indeed. And we see a try from Italy. May change Wales' defensive pattern opens up. Oh, Lordy boy run. Tell you what, he did a good run up the middle for Fusco there. And went for the grubber in behind, and the ball, it just skidded on a little bit too much. Nicely taken by the Welsh. Only a couple metres out from their own line here, and they will set it up. No big game tomorrow for Ireland versus Scotland. Yeah, it's going to be a great game. We are covering it on the channel as well, alongside France versus England, which is the next game in the Six Nations. Cavani takes it. Now Juan Inesio breaks. Finds the pass across for the Italians. Bit of space starting to open up now. Inesio breaks again. Off to the right. Garbisi. Great low tackle made. Short ball again. I believe it was Fascetti with the ball in hand. And Italy just need to make sure that they hang on to this. Are you doing England versus France? We certainly are. And that game will be starting at 5:45. I believe we are going to be starting at around 5:40 though. Our live stream, the penalty goes the way of the Italians. The ruck had formed. Didn't want to give up the ball. You got to be careful. Oh, he's just slammed to the ground. He's going to get the penalty reversed. That is really dumb to do from Fusco here. Because if he's at the penalty reversed against his side, he's a goose. Best way of describing it. Italy are keeping wooden spoon factories in business. There's Krampus. Right, time is off. Captain, he might get lucky and not get penalised for this. Fight Club. Okay, so no one's going to get a penalty against him. No one's getting a yellow card, but Damon Murphy's pretty much said if that happens again, someone's going to be penalised, and then worst comes to worst, someone's going to be going off the field. Now the Italians, they will be able to kick this one for the corner, or not really, about 15 metres out, nowhere near as far as Tommaso Allen would have liked to get that ball. 11.1 metres they've got. And also there's Bramstein. Is he playing for Italy still? Says Boulders and Steel. He's not in the team anyway. The name sounds familiar, but I can't think of what the fella looks like. Italy is such a disappointing team, says Knowledge. They're now trying to go for that rolling maul. Looking like it's building quite nicely. They have got themselves the penalty advantage. Getting that ball out the back. Fusco, a bit of a juggle. Picks it back up, and they'll go back for the penalty. 5 red collapsing. That is young Jenkins getting penalised for that one. Once again, Garvisi will kick this one into touch. Italy seem like they are smitten to go for that rolling maul try. And maybe not just because of the chance of scoring, but also the chance of a yellow card against the Welsh in the process. And they beat the Wallabies. Who would have thought? Says Nate. Now look at Biggie. Throws it in, goes straight into the hands of the Welsh. And that is very nicely done. Oh, looks like the Italians. Yep, they've tied that one up, and now they will have the scrum 10 metres out. Reese Weber's still a useful player. Should have been picked from the start of the Six Nations. You can't coach experience. Says Stefan. Yeah, at the moment, it's definitely Williams and Reese Webb. They seem to be their two leading choices. I'm not too sure who else you would go with. I guess now I've forgotten all their names. Who's the fella that they had rather than Reese Webb off the bench in a couple games ago? Where's the backup? Scrum's won so far, 5 for the Italians. They haven't lost a scrum at this point in the match. I mentioned that for Italy to have any chance of winning this game, they needed to score twice before 70 minutes. They are now getting close to 70 minutes, and they have not scored once, but it might be not too far away at all. Ball available. Another advantage. Fusco goes in behind the offload. The Italians score, and it's Juan Inacio Brex who does manage to get it. My Welsh back row for the World Cup would be Morgan Basham and Talupe Falata with Nvidi, Nvidi, and Morgan Morris on the bench. Says Bing. Now, lots of missed opportunities from Italy, threw lots of points away, says Bing, and tried to try for the Italians who needs experience when you have knowledge. There's knowledge. Right, the kick for the Italians is successful. That will now make the score 17 points for the Italians and 29 for Wales. So the gaps closes marginally. 12 minutes remain, 12 points difference. Okay, something's coming, Italy. You can still do something. There's Crumlass. Now let's go, Italy. It's Nate. I feel like the closer this game finishes, the more hyped up everyone will be for that France versus England game that is just around the corner. We will be starting our live stream in 40 minutes' time for that matchup, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more Six Nations, including tomorrow night's game, which is going to be Italy. Or sorry, it won't be Italy. They're playing now. Will be Ireland versus Scotland. I hope Italy will select Bramstein. The next go. I've yawned quite a bit throughout this game, but that is because we've been up for about 19 hours. That kind of makes sense. That was Marisi with the ball inside of the Italian 22. That was a terrible pass from Garbisi. It was overrun by the big forward, and also that just wasn't the passing option. Garbisi, he's not happy. How about you use your backs, bud? Would have been a better idea, and I think Kieran Frawley's thinking that same thing. Kieran Crowley, sorry, rather than Frawley. Kind of like how bad Bath needs Finn Russell. Is a scrumless, and the comeback is still on if they can keep their heads. Like they've said, it was a knocked on forward pass, so it wasn't just the man's fault who tried to catch the ball. I think the scrum half for Wales mostly this season has been Thomas Williams. Yeah, who are they? Who have they added as their backup? Kieran Hardy, is it? Or is he the fly half backup? Might have the wrong fella. Going to be a big push from the Welsh. Felipe Falata. Ball got stuck in there and it's a knock on. Now the Italians will once again have another scrum. And my man Garbisi making too many mistakes at international level, says Cited. You can't afford to have those knock-ons, 4 passes, anything along those lines. Italy, they've actually had almost double figures of errors. I think they were up to about 9. Don't worry about that one. It's just 5 a.m. That's the 5 a.m. yawn. We normally get through those. Now, ball about to be fed in by a Fusco. And knowledge, because knowledge hasn't been tried and tested. So it's glib until such time proven useful. And Capuzio, Italian fullback, injured at the moment, says Nate. Going off to the short side now, though. Garbisi goes one more. I believe that was Fusco again getting involved. In fact, no, sorry, it was Morisi. Now Fusco gets his hands on the ball. Made on Luca Biggie. They will go back into the pocket and kick it downfield to lead 20. Ireland 24 2 weeks ago on the same time as this match on the 60th minute. Here's MH Choi. Although Lewis Rees-Zammit now trying to cause a few problems, Patavani being able to take him down, and Italy win the penalty and the breakdown once again. They've been very strong in that. I guess we're all hyped for the France versus England match, a big controversial game. Expecting England to smash the one. Well, that one, which side are you on? There's knowledge. I'm still a little bit on the fence. I feel like England, they should have a decent chance, seeing as it's at Twickenham, but there's still a chance that France go out firing, and in a way, it would be great to see. Of course, this is just theoretical. This isn't based on sides and whatnot. I would say England to win by England to win by 20 up against France with a bonus point. Ireland to lose to Scotland by 10. Then we're pretty much sitting almost completely even between Ireland and England heading into the final game of the Six Nations. And it's whoever wins that game wins the Six Nations. You watch any of the under 26 Nations games? Some really good games last night. There's Mountains of Asylums. I didn't get a chance to catch those games as they were on just before I woke up, I believe. Or I think I woke up about halfway through them. Yeah, the under 26 Nations, from the games that I have been able to catch throughout the competition, there have been some pretty good ones. Headed throughout. And all good, Hamish. I've been a busy day for you today, crickets and rugby comms. Says Lose Nate there as well. Now, it will be to Masso Allen. Passes across, looks like a miscommunication. Well picked up by Pierre Bruno. Man who did end up with the yellow card a bit earlier on. Almost ended up with a knock on the breakdown. Good hands. One Inesio breaks the man who scored the last try. Salah dummy. Brilliant work there from Zuliani. Manages to find the pass away. Rio Dyer has to make the tackle, but the Italians, they are not out of this one. Flat ball going off now to the big man, Anchazini, whose name I said absolutely terribly. Luckily, he's been dragged down just short. We don't have to say that he scored the try, but it's the mistake from the Italians again. They were so close, but then the little handling error, the blunder of the pass. And by the way, congrats on the channel growth. Thank you very much. It's a penalty to Italy, though. They'll more than likely kick it into touch, maybe go for the line out. And you're correct about Kieran Hardy. Gatlin brought him back. There's Stefan there. And the Bauer is back on in my area, thank goodness. There's Boulders and still on good point, but I say England by 32 and France by 26 or more. Oh, what's happened here? They're checking for a neck roll, I think. Are they? I think that's what the penalty was for. I think they just decided that it was just a penalty, though. Now the Italians with 6 minutes remaining. Running a little bit low on time. Let's smash that like button. Everyone says Mumbo Jumbo. He's just doing an awesome job indeed. Appreciate that. They're going to go for the scrum here, Italy. At the moment, Lamaro trying to fire his team up as he needs to. This is a big moment for them in this contest. If they can get it right, they'll be within 7. If they get it wrong, this game probably will be over for the Italians. Just not quite enough time to have another attack or another 2 attacks after this one. Scott Baldwin's actually ended up with an injury here. And because of it, Ken Owens, who just got to sit down, just has to get back up and go back out and continue playing. And Italy disrespecting Wales scrum, says Grumpus. Right, 6 minutes remain. Italy 10 metres out. It's gone down in the front row on this near side of the field. Looking a little bit unsteady at the moment. That was actually the replacement, Federico Zani. There's quite a bit of tension at the moment. I just realised I put the bottle right in the middle of where the camera can see. I'll move that to the side a little bit. There we go. I didn't even notice till I just saw the camera. Regards to Hamish, he serves good, enjoyable content. That subscribe button says knowledge. We've got another game coming up a little bit later on, France versus England. We'll be heading to bed. And then waking up at 4 a.m. Well, probably earlier than 4 a.m. to be honest, but we'll be waking up nice and early for that next game. Nice short ball from Italy, 5 metres out from the line. Of course, that game I'm referring to is the match between Ireland and Scotland. They've called it as a knock-on. I thought it hit the player's boot. But they said that they just had a hand to a time running out for Italy. And that certainly didn't help push them back at Italy. No. Kieran Crowley looks disappointed. But, yeah, just a fingertip for Urusa. And why? Says Grumless. It's the crucial little moments, isn't it? Could shape a game. And Wales won't mind the fact that this is a scrum because this will use up more time. They'll get that out the back, kick it into touch. More time used up on the clock. Must run to the shop for next game's beers by everyone, says Mumbo Jumbo. We'll see a bit later on. And Italy are their own worst enemy. They are making a lot of errors, says Mount of Asylum. Very true. Getting it right. And the boot, the corporate. Says Nate. And come on, Wales. A few minutes left. And this match is ours, says Knowledge. Ball's been put in, shuffling sideways. If Wales can win themselves the advantage, which they just have, going to be even better for them. Penalty goes the way of the Welsh. Now, kick this one downfield. They'll be able to go for their line out. Now, as the standings with the current score says cited, so the way that it currently sits is the only real difference is Italy moved from fifth to sixth, and Wales will promote themselves from 6th to 5th. But they'll be on 5 points, Wales, compared to the other sides, likes of England and France. They are on 10 points, so they are a bit higher up than the Welsh. Giovanni Pettinelli going to be making his way out onto the field. That is for Lamaro, who will be disappointed not to be there at the end. You can see him shaking his head. He's disappointed with how this match has ended up going. Yeah, I'm going to have a glass of wine. I need it. It's 9 a.m. There's Grimlass there. Now off the back is Tommy Raffle. 3 minutes remain. The Italians, to get a bonus point, they need to get themselves another try before the end of this game. It won't get them the win, but another try would be very handy. Oh, he slammed down on his back there. Really hurt Pierre Bruno, and the penalty goes the way of the Welsh as well. And Bruno is down. Yeah, he landed real hard on his spine, on his back. He doesn't look happy whatsoever. And also, we have got there. Cheers, brothers. Says Scrumless. Right. Sounds like Reese Webb. He's got man of the match, player of the match. You need that killer instinct in international rugby. Italy don't have it. And Italy can't handle being favourites, says Sleeve. Oh, so it's 4 p.m. in Ireland, 5 p.m. in Italy as the game is on in Europe. That is the time zone you should use. Wine is fine at this time. Mountains of Asylum. Right, 2 minutes left. Wales going to be kicking this one down towards the corner. Trying to increase that points differential just a little bit more. I've slightly slouched down in my chair, but I'll be back up sitting straight for the matchup between England and France. We'll also have the updated table that we will have up on that stream. Everyone to know exactly how it does sit. I've just got to remember to charge my phone because currently it's still dead from the earlier live stream. That wasn't a straight throw. Wales once again giving Italy half a chance, not to win, but more to get that bonus point. Being within 7, this result is a much needed confidence booster for Wales. Says Boulders and Steel. Although I feel it's good that they've got the win, but they'll still see a lot of things that they want to work on before they get into that World Cup. Worst part, probably biggest crowd had Foragers. Says Gareth and Monty Ioane, away playing for Melbourne Rebels, and Capuzio injured. Lucky for Italy. Says Nate. Damn bigger. Playing in this game, of course. Just going to be waiting to see when he will be back. For the Welsh, now going off to the right-hand side. That's offloaded back in, and I believe it's going to be dropped by Thomas Williams. Big fin coming in from the Italian replacement forward. That was Zuliani. Now, back across again. Good attacking run from Juan Inacio Breaks. What about passing there, Garbisi? To be fair, Wales could have done better. Yeah, I'm quite disappointed in them. They aren't playing to their full potential, to be honest. Fletching can breathe again. Italy might not win this, says Grant. Right, they've kicked that one into touch. 13 seconds remain. Era after era after era. They're gripping. It's come less. Yeah, it is going to be the Italian penalty. It's a little bit high from Reese Davis. Right. Italy. It can't take too long to get to this line out, or else they will actually end up losing the opportunity of putting that ball. Don't know what. Oh, I don't know. Was it Wales playing better or Italy playing badly? Have been much better than this so far. That one's kicked into touch, though. Loose ball from the Italians, and that will be the end of the game. 29 points to 17 in favour of the Welsh. So they get themselves their first win of the Six Nations competition. Who knows? Maybe next week up against the French, we could see a massive upset up against La Bleus. And oh well, Josh Adams never showed up. Says Aiden he had about 55 minutes, I think, and then they took him off for Lewis Rees-Zammit. In the end, they sound as bad as our Eagles, says Crownlands there. Nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, we will be back for the next live stream. That is going to be France versus England. That game is kicking off in 30 minutes' time and should be a very entertaining one indeed. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.